In this video, we will be drawing 3 spheres and shading them in pen techniques. The materials you will need are a black pen, your Sharpie, one of your drawing pencils, an eraser, and a compass if you have one. Gather your materials and I'll help you get started. Let's take a look at our Shading 101 note sheet and decide which pen techniques we want to use. In our previous exercise, we already practiced pencil blending. The techniques you can choose from now are stipple, line design, scribble, hatching, or cross-hatching. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate 1 sphere in stipple, 1 sphere in scribble, and 1 sphere in crosshatch. Follow along with me or try 3 of your favorite techniques. To begin, sketch or use a compass to draw a small circle. We want the circles to be about 2 or 3 times the size of a quarter. Establish your light source. We need to know where our highlight is going to be, where our light gray is going to be, where our gray is going to be, our dark gray, and our black when shading our sphere. The first technique I'm going to demonstrate in the video is stipple. I'm choosing to use my thin Sharpie. No matter what technique you're starting with, the principles are always the same. We're trying to create at least 5 different values in the shading of a rounded object with one defined light source. The area closest to your light source, your highlight, is going to be the lightest, brightest spot. The area in the middle of the sphere is going to start to slowly get darker, and the area at the bottom of the sphere is going to be where your dark grays and blacks are. Watch here as I shade this sphere in stipple. Now that I have a base layer of my stipple on my page, I'm taking my eraser and erasing my pencil marks. This is going to show me where I still need to go back in and add definition so my sphere can stand on its own without any outlining. After you erase your pencil lines, reevaluate where you need to go back in and add a little bit more value. Maybe it's at the bottom, maybe it's through the middle, maybe it's a tiny bit at the top. Remember, you can't erase black ink, so take your time and don't rush it. The next technique I'm going to try is scribble. I'm going to use my LePen for the scribble because it's a little bit lighter than my Sharpie. This is going to help me get more of a delicate line in my shading. Start by sketching out your circle in pencil, establish your light source, and give yourself your value map. You can see here that I'm testing out my Scribble technique before I actually start shading on my sphere. This is not a bad idea, so you can kind of figure out what type of line you want to get before you actually start shading your object. Remember, you can't erase black pen, so practice before you begin. Once you have a solid base of the ink on there, take your eraser and erase your contour lines and your pencil outline. Make sure you give your ink a few seconds to dry before you erased it. I think I did mine a little bit too fast, and so the ink kind of smeared a little bit on the side. So just a little tip to kind of keep in mind. Let that ink dry first. And now for our final technique, I'm going to be demonstrating one sphere in Crosshatch. Sketch out your third sphere, either use your compass or freehand it. Establish your light source, contour map for yourself, and you can get shading. All right, whatever shading technique you chose to do for your three spheres, totally fine. You can even try to do one in every single pen technique if you want. Remember, the more practice, the better you get. Again, before I start cross hatching on the actual sphere, I'm doing a little test above it to kind of get my pattern and my flow of my lines crisscrossing before I actually attack the sphere, right? So test it out first. That way you can kind of have a little practice, figure it out, and then you can, bring it right into your drawing. Now that I have a nice base of my crosshatch with my pen on my sphere, I'm going to do a little erasing. So I'm going to erase that pencil line, my contour lines. So all I have left is my shading technique. No outline, no contour lines, right? We want our shading to be able to hold the shape on its own. And so you want to make sure you're erasing all of those prep lines. And there you have it, 3 spheres, 3 new shading techniques. Now I'm going to show you what we're going to be doing in the next couple days with all these cool spheres we've drawn and shaded. Hey art kids, Miss Sushan here. So I wanted to show you what project we're going to be working on with all of the spheres that we've been shading over the last couple days. So our first project is called the Juggler, and here's an example. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to be taking pictures of ourselves kind of practicing looking like we're juggling. Okay, this was a former student. She graduated last year. And so you're going to take a picture with your hands extended out to look like you're trying to catch the juggling balls that are going to be pasted onto the paper. Okay, and if you notice, there are 6 spheres. Just like we've done 6 spheres so far in pencil blending and our different shading techniques. And once we have our picture done, we're going to be cutting around it and then pasting it on a piece of paper, and we're going to be cutting out the spheres that we did, and we're going to be pasting them onto the paper to make it look like we're juggling. Okay, so this is one example. Here's another example of me. Now these I did in color pencil. We haven't done color yet, but if you want to give it a try, you can definitely do that. And so you can see it's a cute way to take all of the spheres that we've been practicing really hard shading over the last couple days and create a piece of artwork with it. So that's where we're headed for our very first project in Foundations of Art, and looking forward to seeing all of your cool artwork. All right, stay tuned.